The film begins in 2012, when the American economy collapses. As unemployment rises, crime rates surge, and U.S. prisons become severely overcrowded. As a result, private companies take over the prison system and introduce a special kind of car race called death races. In these races, the cars are loaded with various weapons to eliminate other competitors, and the drivers risk death at any moment. Any inmate who wins 5 races earns their freedom, no matter their original sentence. The races are broadcast on a private website for a large audience who pay to watch, generating huge profits while also reducing the prison population. We are introduced to Frank, along with his assistant, Case. Frank is considered one of the most dangerous and famous racers. He fights hard to reach the finish line, but right behind him is his arch-enemy, Joe. Both of them are willing to do anything to win. Near the end of the race, Frank suddenly realizes that the weapons in his car have stopped working. In response, he rams Joe's car from behind. However, Joe doesn't give up and keeps attacking him fiercely. Case quickly frees herself before being killed. Frank manages to cross the finish line, but only after Joe launches a powerful attack that blows up Frank's car. Later, we meet a man named Jensen, who works at a steel factory that is about to shut down due to the country's severe inflation crisis. He goes to claim his rightful compensation, but neither he nor the other workers receive their full pay. They are furious and protest what happened. When security forces arrive, tensions escalate into violent clashes, something that has become increasingly common. That night, Jensen returns home, reassures his wife, and promises her that he will find a new job. He then checks on his newborn daughter. However, when he comes back downstairs, he finds his wife lying dead on the floor. Suddenly, a masked man appears, sprays something in Jensen's face to knock him unconscious, and before leaving, makes a finger gun gesture at him. Hours later, Jensen wakes up to find the police in his house. He is holding a knife covered in his wife's blood. The police immediately arrest him. After 6 months of investigation and trial, Jensen is transferred to a heavily guarded prison located on a remote island, one of the prisons that hosts the deadly death races.
After that, the guards take Ulrich back to his cell, which he shares with several other inmates. They assume he is weak and start picking on him. Suddenly, Ulrich hears a noise. When he turns around, he sees Jensen teaching them a harsh lesson. At that moment, Ulrich realizes that Jensen is not someone to underestimate. The next day, Jensen goes to eat with the rest of the prisoners. A group sitting in front of him starts talking about him. One of them tells the others that Jensen used to be a street racer and that his real name is Jespin. Then, another inmate named Pachenko arrives, a dangerous racer who constantly provokes Jensen. He tells everyone that Jensen killed his wife mercilessly because he's a coward, and says he won't let someone like him sit peacefully among them. He tries to attack him, but Jensen is faster and smashes a food tray into him. A fight breaks out, and Jensen takes on the others as well. The guards quickly intervene and manage to regain control. Later, Ulrich is taken to see Hennessy, the strict and ruthless prison warden. She makes it clear that she does not tolerate mistakes, especially since her prison holds the most dangerous inmates in America. Jensen explains that he acted the way he did because he knows how new prisoners are usually treated. Hennessy tells him she has read his file and knows he was a skilled professional driver with exceptional talent behind the wheel. That's why she has an offer for him. She reveals that Frank, the prison's most famous racer, died in the last race, but no one outside the prison knows. The public believes he has been in the hospital for the past 6 months. Since Frank always wore a mask, no one knows his real face, making it easy to replace him with another strong driver to wear the mask and continue racing under his identity. She explains that the audience loves Frank because no matter how many brutal crashes he survives, he always comes back to compete in the death races. According to prison rules, any racer who wins 5 races earns their freedom and official release papers. Frank had already won 4 races, so if Jensen wins just 1 more race while wearing Frank's mask, he will become a free man. Jensen refuses at first, but the offer is too tempting, and he eventually agrees. Hennessy tells him the race will begin in 2 days. She takes him to meet Frank's pit crew, the team responsible for repairing the car and preparing for the races, and introduces him to them. After she leaves, Jensen talks with the team and meets their leader, known as Coach. He is introduced to the rest of the crew and shown his car. They explain everything about it, how it works, how to handle it, and the different types of weapons installed. When Jensen asks about ammunition, they inform him that weapons are only activated on race day and that everything is controlled electronically. Later, they go out to the yard, where they brief him on the racers he will face. They explain that the man who attacked him in the dining hall is one of the competitors, Pachenko, and warn him about the others as well. All of them have killed racers before, and none of them show mercy. When race day arrives, Jensen walks through the prison wearing the mask. The
The inmates cheer for him, believing he is Frank. Guards escort him to the racetrack, and Coach is reminded not to let him speak to the other racers, because Frank never interacted with anyone. His mystery was part of his appeal to the audience.
Then the female drivers arrive. Women transferred from the women's prison to ride with the racers and assist them during the competition. Case joins Jensen, just as she used to ride with Frank. Coach asks Jensen to remove the mask since the car's tinted glass prevents anyone from seeing his face anyway. Of course, Case already knows that the real Frank is dead. The race is set to take place over 3 different days and is broadcast live on private networks that charge millions of dollars in subscriptions, all under the direct control of Warden Hennessy, who oversees every detail. The race begins. Jensen pushes the car to maximum speed. Case carefully observes his driving and realizes he's a skilled driver, but inexperienced when it comes to armed combat racing. Amid heavy gunfire, she guides him through shortcuts, helping him gain positions ahead of the other cars. As always, his deadly rifle Joe is right there competing fiercely. The racetrack contains special marked circles on the ground. When a driver runs over certain symbols, offensive weapons are activated electronically. When they drive over shield symbols, defensive systems are triggered. Everyone is desperate to eliminate whoever is ahead of them. Suddenly, Hennessy activates the death heads, solid metal blades that rise from the road without warning. One racer crashes into them, and his car explodes. Hennessy watches with clear enjoyment. Joe fires a powerful missile at the racer ahead of him, but that driver activates an oil slick system, causing Joe's car to lose traction and stall briefly. His satisfaction doesn't last long, however, because a Chinese racer slams into him violently. The racer's car flips over and a missile destroys it. Somehow the driver crawls out injured and defiantly challenges them, but before he can finish speaking, Joe crushes him mercilessly with his car. Joe then resumes chasing Jensen. Jensen tries to fire back, but is shocked to discover that his weapons are disabled. With cars closing in behind them, he quickly tells Case to release the fuel tank. He then tells her to sit on his lap. Confused but trusting him, she does. Jensen activates the emergency assistance system designed for extreme danger. Using the fuel tank, he maneuvers the car so it crashes into the ceiling structure, causing the tank to drop on the car behind them. Case jumps out quickly and throws an ignition device onto it, and the car explodes. Joe arrives moments later, and the blast throws him off course. The race continues, but this time Joe takes a shortcut. Jensen soon finds Pachenko driving beside him. Pachenko makes the same finger gun gesture the masked intruder made the night Jensen's home was attacked. In that instant, Jensen realizes Pachenko is his wife's real killer. Suddenly, Joe appears again and slams violently into Jensen's car, disabling it just steps before the finish line. The first round ends with Jensen in last place. After the race, Jensen confronts Hennessy, telling her he suspects Pachenko murdered his wife. She coldly informs him that he is officially reported as the killer. That's why he's imprisoned there. Then she shows him a photograph from her desk and tells him this is his daughter's new family, and she will grow up with them unless he wins the remaining rounds and earns his freedom. Jensen is furious and argues with her intensely, but Hennessy remains calm, her hand resting on a gun hidden beneath her desk in case he loses control. In the end, Jensen has no choice but to agree, for the sake of his daughter. Jensen meets Coach in the yard and tells him everything that happened. He says he feels that Hennessy was the one who ordered Pachenko to kill his wife so they could send him to prison and make him replace Frank in the races. Coach is shocked by what he hears and tells Jensen that no one knows the full truth. Still, he promises to help him until he reunites with his daughter. Later, while Jensen is repairing his car, he sees Pachenko and immediately loses his temper. He follows him into his area, but as soon as he enters, Pachenko's men attack and restrain him. Jensen manages to fight back, grabs a metal screwdriver, and makes it clear that he doesn't care about the warden. He is about to kill Pachenko when one of Jensen's own team members suddenly strikes him from behind with a metal bar. Despite the blow, Jensen grabs a piece of metal and stabs one of the attackers, then quickly takes down the others. Pachenko lunges at him, but Jensen overpowers him and beats him violently, fueled by rage. During the fight, Pachenko confesses that Hennessy ordered him to kill Jensen's wife and that Ulrich helped him carry it out. Just as Jensen is about to kill him, Ulrich suddenly shocks them both with an electric stun device, leaving them unable to move. The next day, the second round begins. Only 6 racers remain, and everyone is waiting to see what will happen. When the race starts, all the cars speed forward, but Jensen stays still. The others are stunned. Moments later, he accelerates and takes a different route. As they drive, he questions Case about Frank, asking whether she had a role in his death. He threatens her until she finally tells the truth. She disabled his weapons because Hennessy ordered her to, promising her freedom in return. She insists she never meant for Frank to die. She only wanted to delay him so he wouldn't win and would stay in the races longer. Jensen then speeds up and focuses on chasing Pachenko. They engage in a brutal battle.
overtaking each other and firing weapons in a bone-crushing fight. Suddenly, Jensen spins his car and says, "Let's try some smoke." He deploys a smokescreen, blinding Pachenko. Unable to see, Pachenko crashes violently into a barrier, and his car flips over. Jensen stops his car, lets the other racers pass, puts on the mask, and walks towards Pachenko, violating the race rules. He breaks Pachenko's neck. Then he looks directly into Hennessy's camera in open defiance. Furious, Hennessy accepts the challenge. She orders her team to deploy the armored vehicle and destroy any car in its path. When it rolls out, everyone is shocked. It's a full-scale war machine. It begins chasing the remaining racers, attacking them with heavy weapons, and systematically destroying their cars one by one. In the end, only Jensen and Joe remain.
At that moment, Jensen speaks to his team over the radio and asks them to connect him with Joe's car. He proposes a deal. They work together to take down the armored vehicle. Joe agrees. The two of them charge straight at the massive war machine, which attacks them violently with heavy weapons. They dodge its fire as much as possible, then speed ahead of it. Both of them drive over the shield-marked circle at the same time, activating the metal blades hidden in the track. The armored vehicle crashes directly into the blades, is torn apart instantly, and explodes in a massive blast. Everyone watching is stunned. Joe returns to chasing Jensen, and the prisoners celebrate wildly after what they witnessed. The next day, all the inmates gather in the yard. Hennessy addresses them, announcing that the final round of the race will take place tomorrow and will determine who wins, Frank or Joe. She reminds them that whoever wins 5 races will earn their freedom and be released. During her speech, Ulrich, acting under Hennessy's orders, secretly plants a remote-controlled bomb in Jensen's car. After the announcement, Jensen approaches Joe to talk, but Joe makes it clear he will do anything to win and get out of prison, and that Jensen should stay out of his way. Still, they agree they need to speak again before the race. The next night, the final race begins. When Jensen gets into the car, Case tells him that Hennessy ordered her to sabotage him if he gets close to winning. As soon as the race starts, Joe launches forward at full speed, determined to eliminate Jensen. When Jensen tries to activate his weapons by driving over the marked circle, Ulrich interferes and resets the system so Joe can trigger it instead. Joe's weapons activate and he fires powerful missiles at Jensen, relentlessly pursuing him. Jensen barely manages to dodge them, but his car suffers heavy damage. He tells Case to release the rear shield to distract Joe. She does, but Joe is too smart to fall for it. Over the radio, Joe tells Jensen, "This next missile is from me to you." He fires a devastating rocket, but Jensen swerves just in time. The missile slams into the wall, destroying it and sending both cars off the official track. That's when the real shock hits. Hennessy and Ulrich realize the two drivers were never truly racing. They were planning an escape. Jensen and Joe are now speeding toward the bridge that connects the island prison to the mainland. Furious, Hennessy decides to detonate the bomb planted in Jensen's car, but to her shock, nothing happens. Coach had discovered the plan earlier and secretly removed the bomb. Enraged, she orders a helicopter to pursue them. Meanwhile, Jensen and Joe race at full speed, police cars chasing them on the ground and helicopters overhead. Jensen tells Case to release the gas pipe. A massive explosion erupts behind them, causing the police vehicles to crash into each other on the narrow bridge. Jensen then tells Joe they need to split up. They do. Hennessy contacts the helicopter pilot and orders him to focus only on Jensen. At that moment, Jensen asks Case if she's sure about what she's about to do. She reassures him. Hennessy already gave her release papers in exchange for sabotaging him. Suddenly, Jensen jumps out of the moving car while it speeds through sharp turns to avoid detection. He leaves the mask with Case. She continues driving at high speed, wearing Frank's outfit and mask pretending to be Jensen. The helicopters pursue her and eventually force the car to stop. Case steps out dressed as Frank, leading everyone to believe she is the escaped driver, while Jensen watches from a distance. Joe then joins Jensen to complete their escape plan. Back at the prison, Hennessy receives a gift. Ulrich tells her it's a reward due to the record-breaking viewership numbers. When she opens it, she's horrified to find the very bomb that had been planted in Jensen's car. Coach presses the remote detonator, instantly turning Hennessy and Ulrich into ashes. Coach smiles, clearly satisfied. 6 months later, we see Joe and Jensen together in Mexico, working on race cars. Case eventually joins them after a delay caused by paperwork issues regarding her release. Jensen then tells her he has a surprise. He shows her his young daughter, finally reunited with her father. And that's how our story ends. If you enjoyed our recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all our new content.